Last time on Near Mint Condition. Andrew, this is where you're putting in the flashback, right?
We talked about the technology behind our favorite retro games. Now we're actually going to talk about the games themselves that we still love and still play today. Why the hell are you going to sue?
Oh, I skipped out of work to play these games.
Of course you did. So with this cool technology that I can now play outside of the living room, I can actually play like with everyone playing it, it's enabled me to play some really cool games, like old school games that I played when I was a kid in front of my kids, or like, you know, when people come over the house, they can relive like these old games that they played when they were younger. So what are some games that you guys like were totally getting into that you would replay if you had like set up or what have you? Or what games do you play?
Well, we had to snatch away Pokemon Go from Dan. So I guess that never went away.
Quit catching your Rattata.
Did you play the original ones?
I did play the original ones. I lined up outside Toys R Us to get Mew with the original Game Boy. Everybody's got their Game Boy Color, and I'm like, Game Boy with my Light Boy.
But I gave my kid, so I have a Game Boy Color too, and I've never owned, do I want to admit this? I've never owned a Pokemon game until Lexington Comic Con, where they were selling Pokemon Yellow for like $20. And I was like, you know what? I should have this. And I found my Game Boy Color recently. So I put it in, get home, give it to my daughter.
Start off with a Pikachu in that one.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. And I turn it on, and she's like, Daddy, turn on the light. It's too dark. I was like, sorry, child. You had to go outside or turn on the overhead light.
There's no backlight on the Game Boy.
So, but system-wise, you know, I was a Sega kid.
Sega
so
kid.
I've got two.
Money.
Did you? Oh, you're the Master System guy. That's right.
Yeah. Before the Sega, when I would go over to my friend's house to play their Nintendo, I loved Castlevania, the original Castlevania, and I was never very good at it. I would make it through 2 or 3 levels before, you know, I'd wear out my welcome. But when the mini NES comes out, that's what I'm looking forward to.
That's awesome.
The other one, though, is the original Phantasy Star for the Sega Master System.
That's a good one.
That's a great game.
And
great soundtrack.
We made the joke about making maps. And I gave up making maps for that game because you're in these dungeons, you fall into a pit trap,
yes,
and then everything's worthless.
That's exactly right.
So,
yeah,
but I loved that game, and I played the shit out of that game.
And I liked also how you talked about Castlevania. One of the big tests, again, with the Framemeister was lag. And I could beat Castlevania. Dracula was hard as balls, but one of the tests, other than Mike Tyson, is can I beat Dracula? And it took me a long time. I had the in-laws at the house, and like I get to Dracula, and he is whipping my, no pun intended, whipping my ass. But I did conquer him, like after they left.
He literally took Simon's whip.
Whippy was like, take that!
Man, there's so many games that I love to replay. I play over and over. That no matter how many times they come out, like I end up buying, like the Mega Man Legacy, for example.
I have so many copies of Mega Man.
Gunstar Heroes. Gunstar Heroes is another game that I own, like the Sega Genesis. Every time I can download it, I download it, and it was like what, $3 a week ago or so.
Yep, on the 3DS.
PS. Oh, it was on the 3DS.
It was on the
PS3, maybe. I can't remember.
It was PS3. Yeah. So
and
Gunstar Heroes, but I mean, man, I gotta go with Mega Man. Mega Man 3. That was one of my favorites. Castlevania 3. I love Castlevania 3 was the best one for me. Like, you had Simon, you had the thief, what was his name? Dagger, I think, or
Grant Dynasty.
Yeah.
Isn't that a great name?
Boring.
Grant Dynasty.
You had Alucard, and because of Monster Squad, I knew that was Dracula spelled backwards.
And Alucard went on to be a pimp in Symphony of the Night.
Symphony of the Night.
And then you had the nun chick that fought with the crystal balls.
Sylphia.
That at the end, I didn't know it was a chick the entire time, but I kind of had a half chub for her every time I played her. So I kind of knew that it was a chick.
Medium swole.
Until the end when she reveals she has hair, I'm like, that's gotta be a chick. I was right.
Like in the end of Metroid.
Yeah.
Sam's as a girl.
So then, that's a classic
gets
one.
you all the time.
Still all the time.
So those two games, and man, there's so many out there. I love You mentioned Faxanadu.
My brother
Mickey Mouse Capade. I love playing those games over and over. But the big one that my family, not just me, but the one that we pull out is the one on the Super Nintendo. It was Super Bomberman 2. Because Super Bomberman 2, before Mario Kart came out, was our party game. It was the game that we all fought and argued, and we still play it.
I'm thinking about all these great games that have great reviews, and you know what keeps drawing me back is what I was most excited for, because I watched my mom play Super Mario Brothers, and I watched her like try to get Bowser over and over and over, and I remember just being so excited about playing it. And I remember for my personal birthday when it was coming out, Mario Brothers 3, like I begged my parents for like months. I know you're doing that, but I was so excited, and it was such a letdown when it came out. But I was so excited.
Nobody said that. Did you not watch The Wizard?
The Wizard! The game you've never seen before! Super Mario 3!
They unveiled this is before San Diego Comic-Con. This is before the internet. You know, you wanted to get a trailer to the video game, you got to go and pay money
Fred
and
Savage.
go watch The Wizard. A shitty game that introduced
The
you to
Power Glove is so bad.
I love the Power Glove. It's so bad.
I was so disappointed because, like, I would try my hardest to fall in love with the game, and I didn't. It didn't bring me back to it, but I will say, coming back to it now, I enjoy it so much better.
That's really surprising because Mario 3, as you said, like, you know,
it's perfection to me. This is the perfect Mario game.
I like Mario Brothers, like this.
Don't you say the second one. Don't you say the second one. Get out.
This is a place of love and tranquility together. This is
about leave. What the hell is it called? Toki Doki Panic or whatever?
Doki Panic.
Get the hell out of here.
I have on a Famicom disc. We can talk about that another day too. But really, Mario 2?
Yes.
2?
I have to
not
admit
Mario game.
Did you?
But this is like the childhood me. Like, now I enjoy 3 so much better.
Yeah.
But as a kid, I was like, I like 2 better.
Did you know that there's something amiss with 2? Like when you were playing it. So the brief story of what Mario 2 is, Mario 1 came out, and then in Japan, Mario 2 came out. It looked very similar to Mario 1, but it was hard as balls. I like to keep saying
lost levels.
The lost levels, right?
Shit, I remember the first level, I was like, I can't make that jump.
Give me the jump.
And I try, I can't make that jump.
Yeah, so like the first item
No wonder
you get,
they didn't bring it over.
the first or
They
second
thought
item you
Americans
get,
were stupid.
well, the second item you get
sure.
is like a poison mushroom and you die. Like it like totally throws you off. So like Howard Phillips and the guys at Nintendo back in the day were like, this is too hard for round Americans. Let's get them something.
Dumb it down.
Let's give them something easier, which was a game called Doki Doki Panic, which is still a Miyamoto like Nintendo game based on Fuji TV network, and they just took the characters, made them all Mario characters, Mario 2.
Well, see,
and I fell for it.
Why I fell in love with it, because I could beat it. Like, I watched my mom struggle so hard, and I'm like, look, Mom, I beat this. This is great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
and,
it's the P-Wing.
Pee-wees, get out of here.
But no, like, now, like, Kid Icarus, Mario Brothers 3, and Metroid are, like, some of my favorite for this system. Like, those are the games I go back to.
I want you to talk a little bit more about Metroid, like how
Okay.
you felt playing the game.
How I was freaked out by it. Like, you turn out the lights, and it seems so funny now. Like, I'm like, why was I so afraid of this as a kid? But you have the lights
you
out.
watched Alien
you had
by yourself.
like the scary music. It was like Brood, and you're like, oh. And you know, you don't know playing this game that it's a girl when you're like playing through, and so you know at the end you're like, wait, I was playing me the entire
That's
time.
why I found her
really
strangely attractive.
So I know what's going on in
Wait,
that
those aren't
spacesuit.
pecs. Those are boobs. But it had this whole atmosphere. And when a game has this whole, like, just everything syncs up, you're like, oh, I got goosebumps. I got chills. Man, this is my game.
Yeah, and Metroid definitely had the great atmosphere.
Yeah, I get the same feeling out of like Metal Gear, the original Metal Gear. You know, just being thrown out in the middle of nowhere. Your only communication is some girl on the end of the radio, or some other people that are on the end of the radio. And you assume they're on your side.
The truck have started to move. Yeah,
I think that game's called Firewatch.
Overwatch, what?
Metal Gear. So yeah, like, you know, I talked about a lot of these games, but I think the biggest one for me is kind of what we talked about, Mega Man 2, which the correct answer is, what Nintendo game had the best music of all time?
Mega Man 2.
Mega Man 2. What stage had the best music?
Metroid, Kid Icarus.
Woodman.
Bubble Man.
Bubble Man Yes.
Bubble Man.
Metal
Yeah.
Man was good.
Yeah, so the number one thing for me, whenever I pull out this thing, like, okay, what should I play to test? Mega Man 2, Super Mario 3, and The Legend of Zelda. And there's sometimes The Legend of Zelda 2, which people love to hate on, but it's a good game, and forget the haters.
No, it's a hard game too.
Everyone has to have that game they love that everyone hates on.
It's definitely Zelda 2.
Dude, we run out of things to talk about.
I think that's good. Thank you for watching today's Near Mint Condition. Please, in the comments, let us know, is Doki Doki Panic better or Super Mario 2 USA Edition? What about The Legend of Zelda 2? Is it really overrated or is it really awesome? By the way, the answer is it's awesome. Please like, subscribe, share with all your friends. Thank you very much. And by the way, Nintendo, give us more Samus, give us more Metroid.
All right, Rob, make it quick. Just like sex.
In and out. When in doubt, pull out.
Damn! Girls are vicious.